Welcome back to Matador on the live community coverage tour.
It was the 4th of July weekend 2 years ago when something really strange happened here in Matador to Crystal Jamison, something that generally happens to one in every 100,000 people, and Crystal was that one.
It started with just some very common tingling in my toes and my fingers. My symptoms kind of slowly started progressing, but I didn't say anything to anyone because it was going to be a great week. I didn't want to ruin it for anyone.
Within a few days, Crystal knew she had a problem.
It was up to my wrist and my ankles, and I couldn't feel anything. I'd stepped on a sticker in my sandals, and I pulled it out and never felt it.
Brad and Crystal live on a ranch, but having been a nurse for 26 years, Crystal knew her problem was neurological. By the time the numbness had creeped all the way up her arm and from her feet up to her thigh, she agreed with her husband that it was time to go to the ER in Lubbock.
They do some reflex test on me, and I feel those. You know, when they hit your knee, nothing would happen. Nothing would happen. And they could kind of scrape my skin. I couldn't feel it.
The paralysis kept spreading, and even after a CT scan and an MRI, still no diagnosis. Then a family member who worked at Baylor Hospital in Dallas got her in to see a specialist there.
The doctor was poking her with needles, you know, poking in her skin, or into her feet and her hands that far with needles, and she's just sitting there, nothing.
He said, I believe you have Guillain-Barre.
Guillain-Barre syndrome is a condition in which the body's immune system attacks the nerves. The damage causes weakness, numbness, and sometimes paralysis within days or weeks. There is no cure and no known cause, but the diagnosis led to treatment, daily infusions to rebuild her immune system, and intense rehab to regain her mobility, all in a race to stop the progression of paralysis, which was still inching closer to her lungs.
That's where it knocks your respiratory drive out, and that's when you go on a ventilator.
I was scared. Extremely scared.
And while Crystal and Brad were in Dallas, friends and family came together to take care of their ranch in Matador.
But in the meanwhile, they were here. They cleaned the house. They mowed, they weed-eated, they picked a garden that my husband planted. You don't get friends like that very often.
Crystal says her rehab therapy was very painful, and it took a year to learn to walk again, use her arms, and regain normal function. But now she is back home in Matador, working at the ranch, and grateful for her community.
This will be the place we live forever.
I swear you don't ever find friends like we have anywhere else. We're right here in Matador.
Crystal and Brad call it a miracle, and it is amazing that now she still has some nerve damage, but she says that's nothing compared to not being able to walk. She feels very grateful to be able to walk again, to be a part of the ranch, and part of this community.
Yeah, that's wonderful.